Alright, just started to walk. Another muggy day today, but it's so good. And the weather is obviously getting hot. Alright, so let's take a walk. Today we're gonna, rather than going through boring, conventional walking trail, I'll be going local. That's one of the cafes. This cafe, the reason why I took that as a little kind of different was, I guess it's like that in Korea, those kind of stores, like in the middle of residential area, because all these buildings, right, these are like condominiums, right? Usually in the States, those kind of stores would be like concentrated in commercial area, not residential as much, but they're all intermingled in Korea somehow. They're all intermingled. Okay. The building on the right is one of the elementary schools around the neighborhood. Get this thing. My shoes. Alright, so I got no mask on again today. You can just go around without mask in Korea, but most of the people wears it anyway. I reckon I'll sweat a little more than before, because obviously I feel a little more hot today, a little warmer. It's another cafe. I could understand this because, the streets ahead are a little more commercial. But still, that's most of buildings are here. I'm just checking this out because I've been here. I walked around before, but I thought that this may interest you guys a little more. Just regular streets. People's lives, cars passing, but I bet noisy and stuff. Ooh, this sashimi place. lot of places, little places. These are like tiny places, man. Let's check out across the street. Long signal, I guess. Yeah, I can feel the heat. It's about, I would think that this is about like 30 degrees Celsius. At least 28, something like that. Alright, across the street. This is like a strange combination of like old and new kind of thing. This is like Bogo market since 1970s, it says. Like here you can see like they're set up in a traditional way. I guess it's different restaurants and side dishes they sell. It's like that. One side is all developed and the other side is like a traditional market like this. Interesting. Check out this way. Nothing much here, but anyway. Checking out different streets. So anyway, I was thinking about this thing called wrenches. You know, a strange thing. I mean, you know, like when you give some people mods, you get wrenches, so to say, or spanner, according to some English fellas back there. Some people abuse it, and some people, whatever. In my hangout or premiere, the reason why I give wrenches to is number one, so that you could have the freedom of expression. Given that expression is not, let's say, not impersonating other people or dogging on other people, like accusing, right? Because I really hate seeing comments like, gossips and backbites. Not based on facts, right? Just based on like a bunch of gossips. This person is toxic, that person is not saved, blah 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 blah, right? So I don't really want to hear that kind of things, right? So whenever I come across with that kind of things, it really distresses me, so to say. Like, what the heck? Especially this person, right? Of course, I'm not going to name anybody for obvious reasons. I mean, this person knows that she's not so to say, stable. Quite unbalanced in her psyche, I guess. And she herself said it, But, she used to do that kind of crap. She used to pull that kind of crap on me. Saying, Sam is this, Sam is that. And I'm like, if you have a problem, man, just come and talk to me. What the heck? Talking, it's like, hey, brother, and this and that at once, and then next day, she's just crapping on me. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with you, man? So when I see that sort of obvious instability or obvious, I don't know. I mean, when I just sort of unbalanced, unstable things going on, I really do not like that. No matter how much you don't like that person, it would be great if you can actually, as a Christian, as a Christian, even if you don't agree with, whatever, it would be great if you can actually, keep that kind of gossips and backbiting off. But I notice it all the time, man, all the time. It's like when I come across with Ryan, he sounded all okay, right? And then I noticed that he's been accusing other people like day and night. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with you, man? And I told him, hey, stop accusing other people. Yet he would say like he wouldn't, and then he would keep on accusing. So that's when I kicked him out. And then ever since then he was holding grudge and all that crap. When he's the one who started all that nonsense with accusations and backbites and gossips. Oh man, it's just nuts. So I'm like, whenever I see that kind of crap, I'm like, no man, no way. If you have something against that particular person, and if you don't like what he's doing, you don't have to watch it. You don't have to watch it. And why would you constantly dog on him? You know, it's not even like productive. I mean, I've talked about this guy who's been doing that kind of crap all day long, day and night, years after years. And he's been beguiling other people, encouraging other people, to do the same crap. And he's been quite successful about it. But I don't need that kind of crap. So she would let herself beguile and dog on other people like that constantly. No, man. I don't want to do that. I don't want to allow that. Like for example, I was in a Grams hangout, right? And I had a little disagreement with Donnie. And it's all okay, it's been all worked out, right? And we are having conversation on the comments, like half jokingly, right? But Graham would be saying like, oh yeah, don't talk about it. It's like, yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, I thought this was open chat, open hang, or whatever. And he would say, oh, talk about Jesus, we'll talk about Jesus, we'll talk about... I'm like, dude, man, I know. But there are things that we gotta talk about. In fact, it's actually should let brothers talk it out. Maybe there is some kind of misunderstanding, whatever. See, that kind of things are okay for me. That kind of things, as long as you're not gossiping or backbiting behind their back or whatever. That's all cool. But I don't know. I guess he doesn't like that, even if it was open hang. But I'm not going to sit there and just crap on him all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to go, okay, if that's what it is, guess I'm going to take off. Because I thought this was open chat. And apparently it's not. Right? There's no harsh words exchanged. Obviously, I didn't like how Graham operated his hang, but hey, that's his channel. Gotta do whatever he gotta do. But I felt a little bit of hypocrisy and discrepancy, especially the hang was called open hang or open chat and stuff like that. But the point is that, no matter what, I'm not going to like crap on Graham behind somebody's back, behind his back. You know what I'm saying? But I see these people doing the same crap every day, over and over, sniping hangouts. I'm like, what? Just once is enough, man. Are you that butthurt, or do you feel that much of vengeance towards your, not if you don't consider grabbing, towards other people? How much do you have to be butthurt like that? To the point that you go, it's ridiculous. But anyway, as for me, on my channel, anyone has the right to express one's opinion. One of the reasons being is that as long as you're not impersonating or faking something or trying to confuse other people or bear false accusations or even lie against people, as long as that doesn't happen, sure, that's fine. Because I don't see Jesus blocking anyone. You know what I'm saying? That would be quite ridiculous. Jesus blocking somebody just because he doesn't like whatever. I'm not saying I'm Jesus or whatever, obviously. I'm saying that as Christians, we are to have more tolerance, you know? That's all. And within that tolerance, we don't want to be so-called hypocrites, you know? And one time you'll say, oh, anybody can walk, anybody's welcome, you can come on in, whatever, blah, 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 right? And then the next breath, you start blocking people because you're a little upset or you have a little disagreement and stuff. That's not what so-called Christians should do, actually. You know, I would think that Christians should be a little more tolerant, a little more loving. I don't know, something like that. Those kind of so-called fruit of the Spirit. You could talk about the fruit of the Spirit all day long, but if you got none, what you gonna do? When you talk to people, you have no patience whatsoever. You have no tolerance. You know? I mean, how that even makes sense? I don't think people would actually appreciate it. Even the people who believe will actually keep distance. You know what I'm saying? So, if you want to talk about the fruit of the Spirit, and yet you know what they are, and yet you do quite opposite, giving excuses to yourself, then what does that tell you? You don't have the fruit of the Spirit, you are being hypocritical, obviously. You know. Some parts are boring, some parts are interesting. So, anyway. So those are things that I remember to talk about. There are a few things, but as I take a walk, I'm sure I'll remember. No problem. There's some kind of stuff going on. I don't want to go there, that's for sure. I'll make a right on the street after, if there is one. Even the scripture says, 1 Corinthians 13, about the love chapter. Even if you know all this knowledge, you know all kind of wisdom, right? If you got no love, man, they are nothing. In fact, not only they are nothing, but you are nothing if you got no love. So I think that's something Christians should be really watch out for. Of course, I'm not perfect. I'm not saying that I am in such a way. I can be quite unloving sometimes, obviously, or most of the times. But, if you're talking about your brethren, right? If you're talking about your brethren, we are to love our brethren no matter what, Especially if you're claiming that you are a teacher, or at least if you are teaching something on YouTube here. And obviously, you're going to have to show some fruit of the Spirit. right? If you don't, man, if you don't, the scripture clearly says you are nothing. I hope that, nobody will take this as an offense, but, take it as like a grain of salt, because I will, certainly myself. So, I respect the freedom of expression, including freedom of speech, as long as they're genuine, meaning as long as they're not impersonating or faking something or somebody or trolling. Yeah. Well, I don't mind trolling either, as long as you're straight up. But if it's gonna confuse other people, give some people doubts, because let's face it, who is the author of confusion? Who is the author of all lies? Devil, Satan. So obviously, I wouldn't want to allow any kind of lies, false representations, false accusations, impersonation. Those are not of God. So I will not allow those yet. However, I will respect the freedom of expression, right? That expression should be genuine and true. If not, then, that's no. Including like duking it out with brethren, whether that's private or whether that's public. It's not something, something has to be in public or something has to be in private, blah, blah, blah. No, man. If it's private, it's going to be private. If it is public, it's going to be public. Especially if it's made public, obviously you're going to have to address it public. So, that's how I think about. I don't know if you guys agree. If you guys agree, then, I guess you know where I'm coming from. If you don't agree, then you're more than welcome to tell me otherwise. What is love? I wanted to take a walk a little earlier today because I knew it's going to be getting hot. But there were a couple of things that I was doing. So at least I came out barely, to take a nap. To take a walk. I want to take a walk at least 2 hours now. Excuse me, but we'll see. I was going to take a walk earlier and then come back by 3. But when I left home, it was like 2:45. So I had something quickly, like a shake, and got some daily medication and vitamin and all that. You notice that I'm going zigzag so I could show all the streets here, I guess. I intentionally chose a time when there are less traffic and people, because sometimes you could get into a lot of people here, especially during the lunchtime. Noisy, man. Do something about your little muffler. Oh. I wonder. This is like a barbecue place. Maybe I'll come and check it out later in time. Oh, which reminds me, I was thinking, I talked about this a little bit with Cheryl too, but I told her, maybe I'll do this kind of video, share my thoughts, and then not just that, walking around the street, but also like maybe, going to a restaurant or something. Oh, I'm going across this. Going to a restaurant or something, you know what I'm saying? And then, obviously, have something to eat, do some mukbang. Not mukbang. Mukbang is Korean, by the way. Mukbang. Muk meaning eat. Bang meaning broadcast. So, eating broadcast, I guess. So, after walk, take a break in a restaurant, have some lunch, and walk back kind of thing. I was thinking about that. And making that as like total like at least 8 kilometers, So that means I gotta spend money on restaurants. Dang it, but my channel is not monetized at all. Alright, let's go uphill. Not many people on this side. We'll see. Bill probably like, stopping by at a beer place, getting a couple of pints or whatever, and then heading back. I don't know. Maybe you guys can let me know what kind of place you guys want me to go. like restaurants or like a bar. Not even, you know, I don't want to go to bar, you know what I'm saying? If I were to go to a place like that, I would rather go to like a beer place or rice wine place. Not anything like a pickup joint or anything like that, you know? I don't mind going to a draft beer place, I guess. Have a picture or something. Since I'm not driving, right? On my foot. Oh. Let's see, this is how I look right now. Don't look so tired, do I? Yeah. Uphill, but I'm not going to go that way. I'm going to make left on that street before the hill, if there is a street. See if there is a street this way. All right. Dog playground. I guess this is where they babysit dogs. Well, not much this way. I'll go this way. Little jaywalking. There we go. You can tell that this is a kind of old part of the neighborhood. You can see all the electrical wires running about. You know, that tells me that this is about old place. Because usually nowadays, they bury their lines underground, so. I wonder how far I walked. Can't really tell. Kind of neat place here. This is another barbecue place. A lot of barbecue place here. There's a tuna place, curry, Odang. There's bulgogi place. I think I've been on this side of the street. Interesting. Residential business, residential and commercial, restaurants, residential houses everywhere. Restaurants, bars everywhere. Maybe it's just the place where I am. It's like that. But then again, a lot of things are mixed up in Korea, especially like in Gangnam, where I am. Open Gangnam style. That's a craft beer. That's a craft beer. You should check it out. Definitely check it out. Wow. When I'm done with my meditation, I'm gonna check this place out. This will be one of the places to come, I guess. Got a pizza and some chicken. I'll make that video for Bill. Noisy, man. Dang, noisy. Right. Thank you for the noise. Thank you for the noise. If that's too noisy, I don't think I want beer next to it. That'll be way too noisy. Dynamite. Whoa. I've been here. I think this is one of the streets where people come out for food and drinks and stuff. Dumpling place. Nice, I guess. Barbecue place. Somebody's in a hurry. These signs on the building, man, it's just a trick. It's a total trick, man. How can anyone notice anything? It's like so confusing everywhere. Another barbecue place. Little places. During the lunchtime, I came here like during the lunchtime here. Man, there's so many people. Kind of hard to like even walk through. I mean, like you could walk through, but it's not easy to walk straight through. Another barbecue place. Man, Korean people love barbecue. Another place. This place is usually mostly like sushi, izakaya, mostly like bars, barbecue restaurants. Another place, barbecue. I don't think that's open, is it? Oh, they're having break time, and the employees are having belated lunch. There's a Japanese restaurant, I guess. Be the winner. I would think that is a BA winner. Oh. One of the good things about Korea, I think, especially where I am, is the streets are relatively clean. Oh, there's a sashimi place, whole fish, more barbecue place. I don't think it's allowed to like walk around the street and smoke. So they designate a certain place where people can smoke. And sometimes you pass by it and it's just like, you know. But gotten a lot better than before. Because like before, like people used to smoke even in a restaurant. I'm sure it's the same thing. It was the same thing in the States. But now it's not allowed. No smoking in any building, I think. Oh boy. I'm gonna go all the way to the end of the signal light. You know, like in the beginning, when I was taking a walk, and I did about 2 kilometers. I'm sure I'm doing a lot more. But the thing is, like, when I was doing it in the beginning, I had, like, you know, my head would, like, be dizzy. I'm like, dang, man, I'm dizzy. You know, it's like, I can hardly walk, kind of thing. But now that sort of dizziness, it's all gone. It's amazing. In fact, like the more I walk, I feel like the more healthier I would become, at least. Yeah, I walked on that side before, on that side of the street. Different restaurants, cafes. Oh, there is another craft beer place. Oh, this it's called Shanghai 맥주. I guess that's what they call it, as craft beer. Wow, look at all these guys curled up, smoking. This is like what you see often. These smokers, they're designated in certain area, and that's where they smoke. It's like, how you? Good thing that the wind is not blowing towards me from that smoke. Doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. One of the bigger streets. Tall buildings. Yeah, I like this kind of, environment, like trees, on the side and stuff. Nice. Very nice. Cool sculpture. No. I'm going to venture to that side someday.
호스트는 광양 SNG 설비 매수인 성도건설산업 대표 이상하게 우리 매운맥을 한국사니까 어떤 부분을 해결하고
Guess that's like the library. Oh, I heard of this place. Like Posco Library or something. Oh. Guess that's where it is. Posco Library. Past that street.
동의를 못하겠어. There's the owner, doggy. I guess that's him. I wonder if I should head back home. I wanted to see like how long I've walked though.
Seollong Station. That's what it says here. I know where I am. Oh, boy. Alright, I'm gonna head back up. Gonna be hilly, a little hilly upside. Before this part of the street was like a little challenging for me, but now it's no big deal, which is kind of awesome. You know, like when you walk, you can feel that you're improving. Of course, you gotta know when to measure yourself, I guess. You don't want to overdo yourself. You gotta think about your age, you know. Gradually improve yourself, you know. Pull and push. Let's see how far I walked. Or how long it's been. That way I can see like roughly how much I walked. Alright, so I walked over an hour and 11 minutes. That would equate to about, I don't know, about 5 kilometers, I guess. The reason why I'm not keeping this is because I have this walking counter. So I would know how much I walked. I want to walk about 2 hours though. Downhill. Take it easy a little.
side is like a residential apartment. These are like at least, I would think about $3 million per piece. Not the whole building, but just one unit like that. Yeah, it's pretty expensive here. I would think more than 3 million. I would think about like 5 million for a little dingy apartment. Take my head up a little. It's a little hot. Oh yeah, one of the things I remember, like Bro Conrad and Sister Cheryl, they were making a comment. I'm gonna go this way because it's a little noisy and I want to talk. They were making a comment that people don't make eye contact here because, yeah, I mean, we consider that a little rude if you look at some person. Unlike in the States, when you're taking a walk, especially in the trailer, in the trail like that, when you meet someone or you want to greet them and stuff, saying, at least saying hi and stuff. And I noticed that a lot, even Asian people in the States, when they actually, walking across, and they intentionally avoid like, meeting eyes with you. It's not because, they are rude or anything. That's how it is in Asian culture. You don't look at people's eye, because when you do, here in Korea, for example, they will, these people will consider you as like, you got a problem with me, kind of thing, because it's like, it's also one of the cultural thing that you don't, look at, elderly. if you're talking to someone who's older than you want to intentionally avoid eye contact to show respect, you know, because like if you look at them directly, you know, you will be mistaken for being rude or challenging. So yeah, in an Asian culture, you don't really like look at them in the eye, you know. Just because they don't doesn't mean that they are being rude or ignoring you, you know. So that was interesting for them to actually point that out. Came that way, so I'm going to go this way. Yeah, maybe after this, wash my hair and take a nap a little bit. Yeah, I came this way too, right? If some people remember, this is elementary school. Oh.